Okay, this is Jobless Talk Rant for January 14th, 2011, part 2 of the show Believe. Now, when I ended the part 1 rant, I was referring to an article I wrote regarding 99ers' call to action for January 13th, 2011, and beyond, of course. And we were referring to, in that article, I was referring to a YouTube video uploaded on the 12th of this month regarding certain things that the Congresswoman Lee had said, suggesting the 99ers' help would be tied to some bill coming out in March, and simply expressing my opinion, we can't wait any longer. We need the help now. And the article goes on to read, "Hello, Congresswoman, excuse me, but the 99ers have already been out of benefits since last February, March. Exactly how long do you think we could hold on? Please tell millions of suffering American 99ers why their hunger, homelessness, and deaths are not as big a priority as those lives tragically taken last weekend in Tucson, Arizona. I noticed immediately upon the return of the Congress that the House is and has been engrossed in resolutions and speeches that do little more than offer you, the Congresswoman, and her colleagues, comfort and sound bites for the cable news networks. Why not honor your colleague, Gabrielle Giffords, by actually doing something that would immediately save American lives? Why doesn't Congress stop stalling and griping about how the GOP will make it so hard to get any help for the 99ers and start doing something now? Do you think Speaker Bonner especially thinks that this repeal of the health care is going to work? No, he knows it's not going to work. And if it somehow passes the House, it'd never get through the Senate. He understands that. But he's got his sights focused on something, and he's doing it. We need you to do the same thing. Get your sights focused and try something. We need every member of the 99er Nation, the article goes on, not just residents of the 18th District in Texas, to contact the congressman's offices." Now, did anyone hear anything in that article about my saying to attack the congressman, either verbally or figuratively? My God, people, use your common sense, please. Do I have to spell every little thing out? I don't think so. The majority of you, I don't really think so. You're all intelligent, talented people who are the backbone of this country, and we've been tossed aside, and we can't allow that to continue. But at least half the comments on the Facebook and my articles are bitching about me. About, don't use the word target. Unfrickin' believable. Then some folks are also out there expressing their fear that making waves with the Congressional Black Caucus is a fearful thing. Oh my God, if we make our needs known, they might decide not to help us altogether. What do we do then? I've heard the same lame argument based out of fear. We need to be courageous. We've got the courage to get through every single day of nothingness out there, people, for months on end, surviving on practically nothing. Go boldly before the throne. In this case, the throne happens to be Congress. Go boldly, believing that you are in the right, people. We need to make our needs known. That's what vocal constituencies do. That's what people who actually lobby do. They constantly hammer. I'm not saying be disrespectful. If you want respect, you've got to give respect. I'm not disrespectful or rude to these people when I call them. I call them all the time, and often half the staffers know me, because I've been doing this for months on end. Do you think they would take the time to even know who I was if I wasn't respectful to them, even kind most of the time? Nothing in my articles ever says, hey. Well, no, my articles in the past have said, hey, get in someone's face, but this one doesn't. People, please realize that it is their job to help us. And the Congressional Black Caucus understands that within the black community, unemployment is outrageously high. They get paid to help us. It's their job to represent their constituency, and we are all their constituency, not just blacks in America, but all the people. The Congressional Black Caucus has a specific, unique interest in this because they understand that unemployment within the black community is just unbelievably, unacceptably high. We've got to do something to help. This is their job, people. They get paid to help us. And I, for one, am not afraid to politely, and suggest you do the same, to politely stay in their faces until the 99er Nation gets the help we should have gotten a long time ago. No excuses. But on the same point, just as it is their job to get us the help we need, which is benefits now and then jobs, it is our job to make sure that we are a visible, vocal, unrelenting constituency that keeps them about the task of helping the 99ers. With all their daily distractions, and they've got many of them, we need to help keep them focused on the 99ers. The media too. And this is a everyday task. Consider it your job. If you want to be part of this movement, consider it your job. It can only help. It can't hurt you. And let me tell you, there is something unbelievably amazing and empowering about standing up and doing what you can, even if all you can do is send a fax or an email. That's huge, people. Pat yourselves on the back. I commend you, and I thank every single one of you, because I remember what it was like not to be able to even move from my couch because I was so depressed I couldn't stand. I thought of another resume sent out that went who knows where. Not even finding jobs that I could qualify for, or applying for minimum wage jobs and being rejected because I don't speak Spanish. Where I live in Southern California, many retailers really require that. And I understand. But it's really a hard ego blow when you've made 50 grand a year to get turned down for a minimum wage job because you don't speak Spanish. Or for any reason, for that matter. You're overqualified. They use that excuse a lot too. One of the biggest blows, and Ed Schultz, thank God, wonderful man, talked about it on his TV shows a little bit, and also several times on his radio show, the fact that where we find ourselves, even if we could pay our bills, we can't use our credit. So our credit as 99ers is deteriorating. Some because of bad credit and some because of non-use of credit. And I went for a janitor's position, a frickin' janitor's position at In-N-Out Burgers. But my credit score wasn't high enough to meet their ground level criteria for bringing me on board. Now, what does that have to do with how I can clean up ketchup on a table? I do not know. Anyways, we need to keep their focus on the 99ers. That's what Congress gets paid to do. Okay, now that you have undeniable confirmation that when I suggest that the 99ers focus and target on someone, that request is a benign request at the very best, and is in no way meant as a Second Amendment remedy, for goodness sakes, our next focus, now that that's cleared up, our next focus must be the Weeper of the House. We must start now today. We must call, fax, email frequently and daily until we fill up his voicemail and fill up his email boxes, and the faxes in all of his offices run out of paper. We must get him the message to stop wasting time right now to repeal a health care law that doesn't even take effect for 3 more years, mostly. We must rely on this man to get our legislation, whatever comes up for the 99ers. We have to rely on the speaker to get it to the floor. So we must relay the message from the American public to him that our priority is to help the 99ers now. It will also help the economy. It's a proven fact. You don't believe me? Look up economists talk on 99ers. You'll see tons of stuff on the net. They know what they're talking about. I'm not an economist, but I believe what they say. And the fact that they never won Fox News, that only adds to their credibility in my book. You need to recruit every person, please, that you know to help in this fight. Even if you don't have free long distance, call the Congressional toll-free hotline and ask to speak to the Speaker's office. Ask to speak to his staffers. 877-762-8762 is the Congressional toll-free number. The more Americans who can call and fax and whatever, or if you're in Mr. Bonner's home state, go sit in one of his offices and talk to his staffers. That carries a huge impact. Especially now they're going to be redistricting Okay? It's going to be a lot of people very interested in their constituents. To go sit in those offices, people. Bring your kids. The noisier, the better. You know, that's why we pay him the big bucks to endure. And his website also invites all of those outside of his district to contact him. Gee, I remember Pelosi kept on telling me, you don't live in my district, I can't help you. And I thought, she's the Speaker of the House. She should help everyone in America. Maybe I just didn't get the right links. But anyways, contact Speaker Bonner. The one he's asking people to contact him at is Speaker Bonner, BOEHNER, at mail.house.gov. I implore all Americans, all unemployed Americans, all friends of unemployed Americans, spouses, and especially the 99er Nation, to bombard the Speaker with your requests for helping the 99ers now. This is a tough fight, guys. But this, right now, is the 99ers' daily plan of action. Send those resumes to Representative Jesse Jackson. Okay? Send them. And also, contact Speaker Bonner. This is our plan of action beginning now, continuing through the end of January. The only question is, how bad do you want it, nation? Do you want it bad enough to consider these little campaigns of daily mails, emails, faxes, phone calls, like the job you currently don't have? Are you willing to commit some hours a day to this? Do you want it bad enough to recruit all your contacts in your address book to maybe ask them to please help you on this? Will you post this plan of action everywhere you can to reach as many people as possible? We need everyone with an email address to contact these addresses relentlessly. I myself have 11 email addresses, and I'm working on getting some more. I'm sending 3 per day from each of those. Now, we've got a pretty good authority, but we never know until it's actually done, that in the President's State of the Union address, he may well finally say those words that we've all been longing to hear. 99er. We don't know what he's going to say or even if he's going to bring it up, but we've got it on good authority that this is probably going to happen. Now, I'm hoping that that coincides with the new legislation that's coming out to help us. But we can't wait till March, people. It's up to you. Do you know how empowering it is just to do something simple like send an email? You are part of this team. You are a vital part of this movement. We need every single one of you. And on a side note, to those who haven't heard, my graphics guy, genius, Bud Myers of Bud's blog, has been getting some attention these days. Okay? Getting a lot of attention these days with a prologue press release he did that sort of resembled the 99ers suicide note. It was very poignant, very real. And I urge you to go look at that link, that video. But Ali Vishy on CNN is really taking an interest in this. So we need to email him, bombard his Facebook, tell him, right on, we need to hear more from Bud. This guy is a great asset to the source. So check it out, people. Google it. Google Bud Myers on CNN. You'll find it. Ali Vishy. You'll find it. Until next week's Jobless Talk Rant, this is Pal the Net signing off. Be good to each other and get out there and fight